Welcome to Classic Firearms, guys. Kai over here, and you've just tuned into a very special video. In fact, one of my favorite videos to make here at Classic Firearms. And what we're talking about, I know some of you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to the channel, code word, if you know what that means, Mark 16 MK16. Anyways, let's talk about the gun. All right, folks, what you see here in front of me is the SCAR 16S, also known as SCAR L, L for light. Now, in 2004, military SOCOM actually wanted to go ahead and get a new weapon system, a multi-caliber weapon system, 5.56 and 7.62 by 51 308, and for the SOCOM, and they wanted to replace the M4 with a different weapon system, which is what we're looking at right now, because the M4, they just thought it wasn't as accurate, they just thought it wasn't modular, so they wanted to have a different, more modular weapon system. And that's when SCAR 16 was born, SCAR Light was born. Now, however, when this was adopted by the military, well, it wasn't really fully adopted, when this was basically presented to SOCOM for testing, it had a lot of issues. Now, obviously, we can talk about all that. They had accuracy issues. It just wasn't delivering the performance that they were looking at when it comes to accuracy. It had the reciprocating charging handle. Now, if you guys don't know what that is this guy right here. So this is the non-reciprocating version, which I'm going to talk about what this is all about, but let's talk about the early adoption phase, where what issues this thing had. So you would have reciprocating charging handle, so when people are just holding this thing right here, just like that, and when you're firing this thing would come back and hit you in the thumb and cause malfunction. And that's not good for battle, right? And I kind of looked into it, like why on earth did they go with the reciprocating charging handle as opposed to be non-reciprocating like the FAL, right? Was developed a long time ago, well before 2004, but yet it had non-reciprocating charging handle. Then I learned that SOCOM actually specifically requested that. Now that kind of blows my mind, because why would SOCOM want a reciprocating charging handle? I guess at that point, some folks up at the top who just had no clue about guns, let's just say, right? Sitting behind a desk, that's how it happens. Executive management always does that. They decided, hey, you know what? AK-47s run great with a reciprocating bolt handle, because they had it on the right side of the weapon system, which is kind of forward. You know, the AK-47's bolt handle is back here, so you're not going to hold the gun here. So it really didn't interfere with the shooter. But also, they thought, you know what? It's a great system. It's reliable, so we should employ to the SCAR program. And that's why the reciprocating charging handle came to us, and a lot of people hated the SCAR just for that alone, right? SCAR had some other issues, but that was a major one. And then, obviously, another issue they had was they did definitely have some reliability issues. They had some, not necessarily magazine overfeed, but they had some like feeding issues, right? If you use a different kind of magazine, like this is the original magazine, a 30-round magazine, metal magazine here. But if you like use a PMag or some other magazines, you would have over time these lips that kind of hold the rounds inside the magazine would just kind of wear out. So it wasn't really kind to different kind of magazines. And also this UGG style buttstock, which is collapsible, which again, I'm going to talk about all these specs. This would, it's actually much sturdier now. This would actually collapse on its own. So you're carrying this thing and something happens and you're just gonna grab this gun, put it on your shoulder somehow, you just kind of hit your body or whatever, and this would just collapse. Just can you imagine, like I'm gonna try to demonstrate. You're like this, and you wanna get on the gun, and this thing just collapses on you. It's bad news. So it had these issues, and they would just break. So with that being said, with all these issues and some other that I haven't named over here, this thing was unfortunately not adopted. I think US SOCOM bought about 1,000 of them. That's about it. That's what I know. If I'm wrong, correct me please. They bought about 1,000 of them, and that was it. By 2013, the US SOCOM was like, you know what? We're just not gonna go ahead and continue with this. And their main reason was the cost. They're like, you know what, this thing costs a lot of money, but yet it's not really delivering that performance to blow the M4 out of the water. M4 has been proven reliable weapon system. we're just gonna go back to M4 because it works, and yet it cost us so much less than the SCAR. However, SCAR 17, which is the 308 version, the 762 by 51, performed flawlessly. And that was obviously made before the 16, so FN definitely did a great job with robust parts. So the military was like, you know what, we're gonna continue using that. We just want conversion kits for that, for the 5.56. If we need to, we can just do a field conversion and shoot 5.56 through it. Other than that, we're gonna keep the 17. We're gonna go ahead and ditch the SCAR 16. So this was really never adopted and it was forgotten. However, FN did not forget us, which is really good. FN actually listened to all of these complaints, the shortcomings of this weapon system, and went ahead and fixed them. So charging handle is no longer reciprocating. It's good to go. So you can actually shoot this way, it'll be good to go. That charging handle will stay there. Now, this little charging handle right here used to be, when it was originally submitted to SOCOM, was straight. So it was a knuckle buster, right? And so you just charge this thing, because this one is angled. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me show it to the camera. See, this is like a little bit angled. That kind of does the job, so your knuckle is not really hitting the optic or whatever you have on there. But it used to just like, every time you charge your gun, you just bust your knuckle on an EOTech or anything like that. Because there's all these mounting clamps and all that. So that wasn't also good. So they fixed that. Non-reciprocating charging handle is fixed. The buttstock, that is also fixed. So the reason I gave you all those negatives, because there's a history to this. You guys gotta know about this. And I think it's pretty cool. It really is very cool because this is a very iconic weapon system that was submitted to the US SOCOM, and to this day US SOCOM used obviously the SCAR 17 version. Still, there's that military history that really catches my eye, but yet this is fully improved upon. So right now it would be a much more fitting, I would say, if they were to submit this, the US SOCOM will be much happier with this than it was, and they were obviously way back then. Anyways, enough talking about the history. If you'd like to know more about it, let us know. Maybe we'll do a dedicated video for it, but let's talk about the specs. And I'll start from the tip to, obviously, buttstock over here. We have a FN muzzle device here, and this thing does accept, not the muzzle device, the weapon system does accept suppress fire. However, if you do fire this thing with a suppressor, FN confirmed this, that you're gonna you're gonna void your warranty. That's it. So there's a suppress option here, but yet you can't. So FN says more adverse conditions. So anyways, it's an adjustable gas block, which I'll get to. So muzzle device, if you wanted to throw your own, you can. If you wanted to throw your own can, you certainly can. However, again, think about the warranty. Cold hammer forged barrel, 16-inch barrel, super cool. That makes the gun, the barrel, much more durable, obviously more accurate. And moving on to over here, again, adjustable gas block, short stroke piston-driven system here, and the gas adjustments over here. You turn to the left, that's the suppressed fire or adverse condition fire, and then the middle is normal fire. And mechanical front and rear sight. Gosh, let me see if I can just. There we go. Yeah, you can just flip these things. The rear sight too, which I'll get to and I'll show you. Mechanical sights, quad rail, Picatinny over here, which is kind of like old school style. I think it's a little bit too beefy. Like when I grab it, I mean, I put that Magpul foregrip, but without it too, like it's just too beefy. But yeah, there's quad rail, Picatinny rail over there. You can mount whatever you wish to mount. What we have over here is a cloud defensive light system with a pressure pad, and this thing is going to have momentary and also constant. So it's super good, very ergonomic. Just grab the gun and you can just activate, deactivate. As I said, Magpul angled foregrip. Moving back, we got the 30 round FN magazine. Controls are very AR-like, super ergonomic, something that we're all very familiar. Here's your mag release, mag catch, and the same thing over here. So it's fully ambidextrous when it comes to mag release, mag catch, and bolt release, or bolt catch. It's just like an AR-like, it's not ambidextrous. Over here, fire selector lever, ambidextrous, and just an A2 grip. And let's talk about the operation system, obviously. The upper is completely monolithic, just one piece, which you can mount your scopes, your dots, wherever you wish to mount. You'll be just fine with your 0. And this is going to have a bufferless action, bufferless recoil system. It just basically, that's why it's so beefy up here, because the cycling, the operation happens up top here, just like the SIG MCX or the CMMG Descent that we have over here, or the AR-18 or 180 way back in the day, just like that. And with that gives us the foldable stock, because we don't have to worry about it. We can actually fire this thing this way. This one has actually like short barrel SBR versions too. So just imagine if you have a 10-inch, 12-inch barrel, this thing would be just extremely short for like a CQC applications too. But yeah, you have this, and also obviously great for transportation and storage. It's right there. And again, this is all improved, so you're not gonna worry about breaking this thing like the original FN Scar. And there's that, and this buttstock is fully adjustable. You can just press this button over here and adjust it. Cheek rise right here. Again, you can just fold this. And let's talk about the equipment up here. You've got the Vortex AMG UH1 optic sight, and EOTech G43 3x magnifier and FDE here, which I think black optic and FDE magnifier, I really like it. I just really do. It looks really cool as opposed to just all FDE. I don't know. Gives a pretty good accent in my opinion. Anyways, once we flip the EOTech, now you see your rear sight. That's just flippable right here, and you can actually co-witness just fine. It's a true co-witness from what I see over here, and that is about it. So when it comes to this gun, it feels really good in the hand, and the optic is great. If I have some distance, boom, I've got my 3x magnifier, got my light. Overall, what an iconic, beautiful, beautiful weapon system that's decked out by us here at Classic Firearms for hopefully some lucky person someday. You may see some cool stuff there. Anyways, we appreciate your business, guys. Don't forget the code word though. Again, Mark16, MK16. Check that out. It's gonna be very important. I hope this video was as enjoyable to you as it was for me making it. Again, thanks for your business. Thanks for tuning in. God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.